few phrases that were shared with me as we talked on phone and email. Patrick really has quite an established background and interest in working with adults as well as at-risk and underprivileged students. He's worked on cultural awareness building programs, outdoor school programs, martial arts, music, dancing, singing, grant writing, OMSI, planetarium, astronomy, astrophysics, celestial navigation with Fortune 500 executives. Did his capstone at the Kiwanis camp, and so Patrick, take us. Oh, and he's a Noyce Science Scholar in Rhonda Rhodes' 2-year cohort program.
That's right.
Wow.
So, with all that preceding me, my name is Patrick, and I was, let's start at the beginning. I guess I was born here in Portland, Oregon, grew up here, and I went to Buckman Elementary School when I was younger, arts magnet school, and so I got sort of a diverse learning experience there. Got to meet lots of different people from different areas of the world, and I also got to experience art and drama and music and all these other things that have now been almost eliminated from just about any other school in the district. So from there, I went on to Oxford Middle School and then on to Cleveland High School. During that time, I started my interest in science, and I started to study chemistry more, which was a science that I was really interested in. I enjoyed physics as well as biology, but chemistry for some reason had that special grab for me, with the atoms and the molecules and the way it can explain how everything sort of works and what's really going on and that microscopic or picoscopic kind of level. And so it just fascinated me. And although I was interested in art and writing and reading and acting and all kinds of other things, I decided to go into chemistry. But all those other skills that I had also acquired along the way, of course, would funnel into teaching later, since teaching involves all those different skills. So from there, I did my undergrad at Portland State University for chemistry. I did the 4-year program, and I finished in 2006. I graduated from high school in 2002. Then I went on to, during that time I was working at OMSI, the Oregon Museum of Science and Industry. Let's see, I was doing shows in the planetarium and also in the OmniMax theater there. So I loaded films, the big 70mm thing, which is a big catch thing for a lot of job interviews and that sort of stuff. You know, you just put that on an interview or a job resume, and I mean that's just like every time. Oh, so you loaded OmniMax films? You know, really, it's a good hook. So, but mostly I worked in the planetarium there actually as an educator. So I did a lot of educative shows on astronomy and stuff, which was really great for me because, like I said, I was really strong in chemistry, biology, and physics, but I had very little experience with that other fourth commonly forgotten about science of astronomy. And so I got a lot of experience learning about astronomy there in the planetarium, which was nice. During that time, I got to work with all different kinds of groups. I got to work with groups like Fortune 500 businessmen. We had multiple business groups that would come in for planetarium shows. Also lots of school children from around the area, college students, you name it. I mean, I taught it there in the planetarium. We did all sorts of different kinds of different shows too, astronomy, celestial navigation, and learned a lot at that job, so that was a lot of fun. From there, I went on to, once I got my undergraduate degree, I went on to work for a couple of chemical companies. I decided to try to get out into the field, right? And I'd always wanted to teach. Even in high school, I thought that I would ultimately end up teaching. But during the time, I thought I would go out and try my work or try my hand in actually working in the chemical industrial field and see how I liked working in the lab as opposed to working with students. So I started, I worked at Kanto Corporation and the Tokyo Koigo Company, both Japanese companies working in creating high purity acids for the semiconductor field. Really dry, right? Sounds like it was, yeah. So I did that for a couple of years, and I ultimately decided that I needed to change, that I was tired of filling a sample, putting it in a machine, pushing a button, take a reading, taking the sample out, putting another sample in. And so I decided that maybe lab work wasn't for me, that I was more of a social person, that I needed to have more interaction. And so I, at that time, decided to come back here to PSU and talk to the chemistry advisor here, Dr. Wamser. And I went and talked to him and just asking him in general about different scholarships or some other way I can get back into the GTEP program or some other sort of teaching credential program. And he said, oh, go right now. Go to the Center for Science Education right now. They have a week left on their deadline for this Noyce Scholarship. Go sign up for that, go now. And I'm like, okay. So I go over to the Center for Science Education, and I talked to Jennifer Wells over there, and she got me going, and within a week I had gotten all my references and resumes and all that stuff together, and you know, handed in this packet full of stuff to her, and lo and behold, in a couple of weeks, you know, they called me back for an interview, and et cetera, and long story short, it just sort of fell into place, and they accepted me into the Noyce program. So yeah, it was you talked about serendipity before, Mr. Kivlon. That's definitely what I feel it was. So and then so that was let's see, 2007 or 2008. 2008 is when I started into the Noyce program. We began, and so I did a series of classes last year in the Noyce program. During that time, I've also been tutoring on the side and doing other teaching activities as well. And now this year, I actually began my my placement for student teaching, and they were able to place me at Cleveland High School, which is where I graduated from. So another serendipitous moment. And actually, I ended up I'm now placed with the with the teacher that I had for the freshman year of high school when I was there, Mr. Staub. So he was my introductory science teacher. So not the chemistry teacher that I had later, but he's still there also. So I interact with him on a daily basis as well. So now I'm placed with him, and things are going great. It's a fantastic program so far. I'm learning a lot, I think, from the experiential learning, just being in the school, interacting with students, and having a teacher there who's a master teacher, you know, who's been teaching for 10 years and can tell me all the finer points of everything. And so far, it's been a great experience, and you guys should know that I'm very appreciative of the grant that was offered to me, and I was allowed to accept this year, and that you guys should all be proud to be supporting the students here in the GTEP program. And I guess it's